So back to you. And we're going to hit this with every chapter, Knoll's model of constraints, individual, environment, and task. So changing different aspects of the task can make the skill of handwriting or drawing easier or harder. So the angle of writing surface, if they're for young children that are still developing their dynamic tripod, it's actually easier for them to write on an upright surface, so on an easel of some sort, than to write flat on a table. It's also, there's something, you know, when your teachers are like, sit up straight, there's a reason behind that. When you sit up straight, you're better able to write. So if you try it now, I want you to try it at home. Try to write your name on a piece of paper with slouched posture, so lean as far back as you can in your chair, kind of slouch down to where your hand is barely resting on the table, and write your name. And then sit up straight, put your feet on the floor with your back straight and upright, where most of your forearm covers the table, and then try to write again. And see if you notice a difference in the amount of pressure you're able to apply and the amount of control you have over your skills. So if you'll try that now, you should be able to see a difference. Right, so hopefully that was enough time. If not, you can pause the video for a second, and hopefully you were able to see how important posture was by trying that real quick. Also, and probably this sounds like common sense to you at this point, but girls are generally better than boys at writing skills, so they have just a higher fine motor control and accuracy. They develop writing a little bit faster. And then, as always, we want to consider the whole lifespan, so changes across the lifespan is part of our definition. So we want to see not only the development, the improvement of fine motor skills, but also the loss of fine motor skills. So as we get into the compensation phase of the mountain, there will be losses that occur with age, and some of that is because of disease, right? We have age-related arthritis is fairly common with older adults, so that restricts the movement of their joints, so their joints are less flexible because of the fluid buildup in the joints, and because of pain as well. Also neuropathy, which starts in the distal joints, so your fingers and your toes, also makes it difficult to perform fine motor skills with elderly adults. So that's, of course, going to slow down movement, and it's going to make it harder to control because you can't be as precise if you lose that flexibility, or if it's painful, if you don't have the sensory perception that you used to have. Exceptions to this are, as always, active individuals. So to adults that stay active or participating in exercise, are going out and engaging in their community, whether it's playing games or taking a walk every day, or doing crafts, those individuals are going to be less likely to lose their fine motor skills because they're using them all the time. Also, any skill that they continue to practice. So maybe they're not doing much, but they're still doing the crossword puzzle every day, then their ability to write they're going to lose that less than another fine motor skill because they're still using it. And then also vocal control, so their ability to talk and maybe even sing is less likely to be lost, and that's probably because of the same reasons as listed before, like they're continuing to practice, right? Older adults just talk more with age instead of less. They spend a lot of time talking and maybe even gossiping, hopefully not your grandparents. And so since they're still using that skill, they're still using their production of language, then they're less likely to lose it. So being active, continuing to practice a skill, and vocal control are the three exceptions to the loss in fine motor skills with age. So now I want you to think about, because it's fine motor skill, and unless you end up in occupational therapy, it can be very easy to skip over the fine motor skills, right? Because we will focus on most of your injuries. If you end up in physical therapy, are going to be gross motor related. Physical education is more gross motor focused. Coaching, sports skills are more gross motor related. So how do you teach fine motor skills in each of those areas? And hopefully you've seen the importance of fine motor skills throughout this lecture. And so I want you to take a minute to brainstorm ways that you can incorporate the development of fine motor skills into your future career.